Hello and welcome to the Ell'Chemist, and this is Soul Talk Sessions with a Scorpio moon.
Rockets on the day.
Hello guys and welcome to episode 6. I can't believe I've got 6 episodes already, and after getting my Spotify wrapped through, oh my god, I am stoked. I've been fully not beating myself up, but I'm like, oh, this podcast is just shit. No one wants to listen to it. I've only had 100 and something listeners. But do you know what? Again, that these little posts that you see that just validate you and make you feel better. When you see posts that are this is what 150 people in a room look like. And if you would ever catch me speaking to a room full of 150 people, I mean, you wouldn't. Not yet, anyway. I'd be so scared. But to know that there is all these people listening from different parts of the world as well is amazing. So really, really grateful for that. Thank you for listening, for keep tuning in. So grateful, literally, for all of you. So thank you very much. And firstly, let me just start off by saying I've been real shit this week with getting this podcast out there because so much has just been happening. So much has been happening in life with material things, with emotions, just with everything. So I've been a bit tapped out, but here I am, ready to bring you the goss, the soul talk, the updates of what's been going on. So let's get into it. Firstly, one of the first things that I want to say is when it comes to your birth chart, reading your birth chart, understanding your birth chart, wanting more information about it, please, guys, don't go to ChatGPT to have your birth chart read. Do not give that robot all your information, okay, and then expect it to feed it back to you. Because I'll tell you what, for a start, it's incorrect. It's not right. Secondly, you're taking away the work of true astrologers from true astrologers. Yes, ChatGPT is good for, real quick, convenient answers, just like Google, or, I don't know, writing a caption for your Instagram post. I used to do that all the time. I don't do it anymore because I realised how much of my own natural creativity it was taken away from me. So I just started writing my own captions, and I've also asked ChatGPT to read my birth chart before. And then I was like, what the fuck, this is bullshit, because it just kept coming back I don't know, I can't remember exactly what it said, but for example, it was oh, yeah, because your sun sign is in Scorpio. No, it's not. My sun sign is not in Scorpio, chat. My sun sign is in Gemini, my moon is in Scorpio. Oh, yeah, sorry, Els. Well, because your moon sign is in Gemini, no, it's not. It just kept doing that. And if you're not clued up very much on exactly what your birth chart says, you will send through your information and have whatever fed back to you and just take it for gospel. And it's not, because it's not correct. And secondly, like I said, there is astrologers out there that will put together for you a personalised birth chart reading. It's so much more intimate, it's so much more connected, it's so much more human. And I would just highly recommend that you go to an astrologer. The birth chart reading that I had with Vary on my episode previously, you can hear how passionate she is about my birth chart, and how well she explained it all to me. And just being able to have somebody in real time, or however you go about getting your birth chart read, just having somebody to fully explain in detail and accuracy exactly what it all means to you. It's just so important, and we can't just keep giving away everything to a fucking robot. Let's just really rein this in. I see so many people using ChatGPT for, their business content and stuff, which again, fair play and fair enough, because I do still do it sometimes. If I need I don't know, a bit of inspiration, I've got this idea, how can I put this together? I'll use it for that. But You know, you see people just for their business accounts or something, just using AI generated images, and like they're all starting to look the same now. Like you always know immediately when somebody has used AI generated images. And again, fair enough, but it's just they're all looking the same. It's not personal. It kind of seems like a little bit lazy because it's not easy to create images. Like I get that, but go to content creators, go to people that are there for you to take content photos. My friend Rosie, who took all my content photos for me, her handle on Instagram is at make space to create, and she's fucking fantastic at what she does. You feature in the photos, you yourself, like your clients, your viewers, your followers, your whatever can get a real feel for who you are as a person, rather than trying to figure it out from an AI generated image. You know, like I just feel like we really need to stop giving so much of what we naturally have inside us, our natural creativity, away to a fucking robot, because at some point it's going to take over the planet and we're all going to be the reason for that because we're too lazy to do things ourselves. And if you think about, I've been thinking about this a lot recently, but I know for people my age, like I'm 36, and I know for people my age or around my age, maybe a couple of years on either side, we seem to have lost like 10 years of our life. Like we're all kind of responding and thinking from the age of like between 23 to 27 or something like that. And that's like 10 years ago, you know, over 10 years ago as well. We seem to have like lost those years. And if you think about it, within those years, within the past 10 years is when social media, technology, like AI, all stuff like that has really taken off a whole lot more than it was before. And the reason why we feel like we've lost those years and how time is just slipping through our fingers is because of how much we are giving away to technology, our phones, AI, everything like that. Like we are losing time, we're losing presence, we're losing connection through our phones. And I'm not here to like fully preach about it because I am 100% guilty for this. Like I will sit here of an evening. I've even got to a point now where I feel like Netflix is fucking shit. Like there's nothing on there to watch or nothing that is really gripping me. Like they used to put loads of real cool like true crime stuff on there, which I'm all for, but all the stuff that's been on there recently is no good, or it's like dubbed over, which is still good. I really get into those, but I can't get into it as much. So I find myself sitting there like watching TV, but just scrolling through Instagram reels, you know, because I'm trying to get some inspo for my own business content, or I'm trying to get something. I just feel like all of that time in the evening, you know, when we all say we don't have time, but we've still got so much of it, but we're actually choosing to give it away willingly to this little rectangle black screen in our hands. It's just absolutely mental. Like just really, really seeing where time is being lost. And I saw something the other day, it might have been yesterday, it popped up on my Instagram again through scrolling, but it was like some guy, can't remember where exactly he was, but he went 12 years without a phone, and it was talking about how what happened to him like really, really deeply impacted him, but with his presence, with his understanding of time, with his mind, his emotions, like his gifts, his ability to connect to spirit, himself, and just so much other stuff that, you know, we're all, literally all of us are so desperate to connect to a little bit deeper or understand a little bit more. Like we are all so desperate for that, and it's all within us, like, but we're not able to do it or not able to fully connect with it purely because we're giving it all away to our phones. Like it's literally all there within us. It's always a process of just remembering and coming back home to that. My cat's just jumped up on my lap, so you might hear her. Have a little, do you want to say hello? Say hello. No, she doesn't want to talk. She's just looking at me. She's like, move your legs, because I'm sat in a position where she can't like sit on my legs properly. What are you doing? But yeah, do you know what I mean? Like, it's really, really sad. And as hard as it is, because we have all been so programmed to be so attached to our phones at the moment, or in this day and age, just practicing to have like, you know, the hours off in the evening, or like I get a notification that pops up at 9 o'clock to say like it's bedtime, you know, or wind down time, and it shuts off me getting any notifications. But that doesn't stop me from having my phone in my hand or picking it up every 5 minutes to see if I've got a notification. So, you know, but doing that and fully sticking to it can be really beneficial. Like I would love to say, oh, I need a bit of time off social media or something, but because it's so important for my work and business and networking and all stuff like that, it's difficult to do that. But just putting into practice daily, just little moments where you can just be fully present with yourself. You know, do anything else that isn't connected to your phone or isn't connected to scrolling or validating yourself in some way. Because I know as well, for me, when I'm in circumstances, maybe deeply emotional circumstances, I'll be scrolling through looking for some sort of validation for how I feel to make me feel better if I'm struggling to understand it. And that's also in a place where a lot of people can reach out to ChatGPT, you know, because ChatGPT is always going to validate you. It's always going to tell you what you want to hear. Even if it doesn't necessarily agree, it won't agree, but it will still make you feel better. I did use it a lot when I was giving up smoking before, and like just through some like obsessive connections that I've had to try and ease my mind. But then I'm like, you know, I'm studying counselling right now. I'm studying to be a therapist, and we need to keep that alive, because I know that I've gone to ChatGPT for therapy stuff, and I know a lot of other people have as well. And if that's where we're moving into, then real life human therapists are going to be driven out of work. And it's the same with people like astrologers, like Vary, you know, people that have such genuine natural gifts to be able to share stuff is just going to be taken away from them through a fucking robot. So we just really need to not do that. By all means, use ChatGPT for like your meal prep ideas, or I don't know what else. I don't know. Meal prep ideas is probably one of the best, or just to ask like a simple question that you really don't know, that you just can't be bothered to open Google for, which is exactly the same thing. But just to be more mindful about how much information that you're giving it, how much of your own autonomy and integrity you're giving away when you can just so easily do it yourself. Like, we're already moving into quite a strong humanity of laziness, and we're not that naturally. We're not. It's no good for our brains. It's no good for our bodies. It's no good for us energetically, emotionally. Like, it's really, really not to be lazy, to be like so dependent on something to just do everything for us. We can't do that. So that is just what I wanted to start off with anyway, just to make sure that people are still utilising human beings as much as possible, because they're going to be around and they don't break down. They don't give you false information. Well, they do, a lot of them, but you know, the real ones, they don't. But they don't break down. You don't have to restart them, reboot them. It's a genuine interaction that is needed to be maintained. And then moving swiftly on from robots, I guess I've fallen into another experience that I'm having with someone in particular. It's relatively fresh, but it's a little bit of a different dynamic, this one, because although how do I explain it? Although it's karmic and I know it for sure, it's just really, really different. Like the connection that I have with this particular person and the feelings that we have between each other, the way that we get on, the way that we communicate, everything's very different for one reason or another. It's more of like a friends with benefits kind of situation that I'm in. Although I am very aware that my feelings are getting stronger and deeper, even though I am aware of where I stand. I've spoken to Vary, the astrologer, about this. She's like, girl, you need to get it in the bin. Like, this is not going to be any good. But do I listen? No, I don't, because I'm going to fuck around and find out all by myself. But I mean, for now, the reason why I guess I'm comfortably entertaining it is because I do know where I stand. So this is what the difference is. Like with, say, Mr. Ringwood, or this guy that I dated for a little bit before then, or just anybody else really, it's always been really difficult to kind of nail down and determine what the connection actually is, because the person can never communicate very well, or doesn't know what they want, or makes out as if they do know what they want, but then their actions say very different. So that's why my feelings get even more heightened and I become even more hypervigilant, because the person might be saying one thing, but their actions and their energy is telling me something else. So the difference with this connection is that actions and words align. So we've both made it very clear that we don't have, either of us can commit to this in any kind of serious way. There is no seriousness or commitment there. That I would say there's like an emotional bond. I'm, heavily water-based. He's heavily earth-based. So emotionally, maybe I am bringing a little bit more of the emotion to the table, but he is still very emotionally driven and charged and can understand his emotions well. He does know what he wants. He knows what he doesn't want. He knows how to communicate it. He's definitely not shy to say how he feels or what he's thinking. He kind of reminds me of a child. When children just say things like with no filter, like they'll be like, "Oh, you've got a really hairy face," or "You're fat," or something like that. He does that. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's never told me that I'm fat, because I'm definitely not, but he has told me that I've got a hairy face. He's like, "You need threading on your face." It's like, okay, cheers. He said that I smell like garlic, which he wasn't wrong. He was just stating the obvious. I did smell like garlic that day. But it's just like, it really takes you back, because you're so used to dealing with people that will tell you that you look nice or smell nice even when they probably don't think that you do. You're so used to people doing that when people actually are straight up bluntly honest with you, it's a bit of a shock to the system. It's like, oh, ouch, but okay, thank you for your honesty. It's funny. But yeah, it's a kind of like nice connection, just purely because of the understanding, the trust that we've got between each other. We get on so well, like we have a real good laugh. The intimacy's there, the romance is kind of there. I'd say that he's very attentive. He's a very much like acts of service kind of love language guy. Just a real nice guy. But I think I briefly kind of did like mention him in another one of my podcasts, because he's the guy that I think I've mentioned asked me for my number in the gym a little while ago, and I said no. And then I kept saying like, "Oh, it's just no good," because we ended up meeting up. But that's all kind of grown and evolved from there. So yeah, because we like spent a bit more time with each other, we got to know each other more. We came to a level of understanding with each other, so it's just become a lot more chilled. I am just very aware of our other differences as well, like in our values or morals, our beliefs, the way that we view the worlds in which we come from are very, very different. So sometimes there can be a bit of head clashing. He's recently said to me that he is kind of frightened of me because and this is like also like a kind of lesson for me here, because he said he was frightened of me because of like my abilities to speak to spirit or connect with spirit, like through Reiki and stuff like that. Because I've told him some of the stories that I've had with clients, like some of the visions and stuff that I've had through doing Reiki, and that really freaked him out. And yeah, he kind of like put a bit of a barrier up between us because of that, and I've just had to very gently explain that there's nothing scary about it, and it's just his understanding or his lack of understanding of it that makes it scary, not that I'm myself a scary person. And he has understood that, and now he wants to experience it and see what it's like, to see what I'm talking about. So that's why it is nice, it's like, even when there is a bit of misunderstanding there, maybe a slight bit of conflict or resistance energy or whatever coming up, we seem to just come quite comfortably back into a level of understanding with each other. And no matter what, this has been going on for potentially about a month or so now as well. And no matter what, we do seem to gravitate back towards each other. But again, I am saying like there is no serious kind of element of commitment there. We're both in different kinds of life circumstances as well, different places in life, have different plans for our future. But I guess we're just enjoying it for what it is for while we can. And we'll just see what happens. Like one of my Louise actually, who came on the podcast last time, she did say, and I had thought about this, she was like, you know, just make sure that while you're in this connection that you're not blocking off or shutting yourself off from receiving any other more aligned connections. And that's the only thing, and that's like for everyone as well to just be aware of, is that, you know, if you are entertaining something, a connection, a relationship or whatever, even a job, anything in your life where, you know, it's suitable for one reason or another and it kind of works and it's all good, but you're just kind of settling for the time being because it's ticking your boxes or it's keeping you busy or it's fulfilling you in one way or another, that's great. But you do just have to be aware of where you could be shutting off any other connections. I do like to think of it as well as like, you know, when you're in that kind of energy, like especially when you're really sure about how you feel, where you stand and what's going on, that can potentially and a really strong place to be in to actually attract the right kind of energy, because, you know, you're vibrating from a place of understanding, of stability, of clarity in the connection that you're in. Does this make sense? Like if you were in a connection, say with somebody where there was a lot of confusion, a lot of like misunderstanding, a lot of anxiety, a lot of hypervigilance, you're going to be coming from an energetic frequency of anxiety and worry and fear of abandonment and stuff like that. So you're more than likely going to attract, if you are going to attract any other energies into your life at that moment, they're going to match that. But I keep saying like the more people that I'm meeting or the more little connections or whatever that I'm getting into, I can see like the healing happening. Like I can see the growth, I can see the evolution of my relationship connections growing through every single person that I meet. Like they seem to be getting better and better. They're still not 100%. They don't tick all the boxes, but nobody ever will. But they're improving every time. And I guess my way of handling it is improving every time as well. And so with this particular connection, I'm in it, but I'm not emotionally traumatized. I'm not being emotionally traumatized. I'm not being love bombed. I'm not being confused. I'm not being given false information. I'm not being lied to. I'm not being misled or anything like that. So therefore, the way that I am energetically responding to that is in safety and stability and security and clarity. And so therefore, and also knowing that there's no commitment there, I am still aware of my openness to welcome in other connections. And I would say that I probably am doing that. You know, I'm aware of that happening as well. I'm aware of other healthier connections slowly drifting into my life at the moment, which is fantastic. But it's just that I know that I just don't have the capacity for it at the minute, albeit it could be because I am genuinely due on my period today. And so therefore I just don't want to be much around anybody or anything because gross, fucking get away from me, don't look at me. you know how the vibe is. But also at the same time, it's just an awareness of the things that are coming in. But yeah, with this current connection that I'm in at the moment, like I also just feel like it is fulfilling me in all the ways that I need to be fulfilled, whilst also not taking up too much of my time or my energy to put anywhere else. Like it's not taking any energy away from my business. I know at the beginning of the podcast, I think I said, anyway, I might have thought it, but I think I said it, that I've been like real shit because of emotional stuff. Like it hasn't really been anything to do with him. It's been to do with a lot of things. Like my car fucking broke down. I was ill. And I always find that when you're ill, it's like a full reset of your life. Like, you know, that you just get fully wiped out for like 4 solid days maybe. And then you just start reevaluating everything to do with your life and your health and everything from there. And that like impacted me a lot. It was just realising a lot of stuff. Like, yes, the up and downs or whatever it was that I was having with this guy may have slightly impacted it, but again, just not really, because I still knew where I stood. So it's just like not taking anything away from anything in my life, and it's a good thing. So it's like fulfilling me in all the right ways, whilst also allowing me the emotional, physical, spiritual freedom that I want to maintain as a single woman, a single independent woman, whilst also being open to make new connections if and when they arise. Because at the moment I'm good, I'm just good. I don't care for it. And that's actually going to lead quite nicely into another realisation that I had quite recently. It might have been around the time that I did get ill, actually. I'm pretty sure I had COVID for like the 5th time in the life of COVID. But basically, I just had this realisation about how uncomfortable I felt. And stay with me, because it was a good thing. And the reason why I felt uncomfortable is because I realised how much more I felt like myself than I ever have done in all of my life. Now, honestly, like, I don't even know what it was that just flipped for me, but I just realised that literally, like, this discomfort is the pull that I can feel between my old self and my new self. And I don't like saying like old self, because that girl, that woman, that child, that whatever is always going to be a part of me, and she's going to be with me for the rest of my life. But I just started viewing her so differently. I just got this like little epiphany moment where I realised that she has just been in survival mode for all of her life. And I'm talking about me here, obviously. Like, literally, I have not been myself until now. I feel like I am more myself now than I ever have been. Otherwise, I've just been the person that I needed to be for any of these individual experiences that I've had throughout my life. Individual experiences, relationships, jobs, friendships, whatever. And it's not been until recently where, even the connection that I've got with this guy, and also just all the new friends and stuff that I've met recently, my clients, like acquaintances that have come into my life, that have been attracted into my life, that have brought out a side of me. Even people in the gym, because I genuinely also feel like when I'm in the gym, it's like when I am the most myself than ever. Even though I can walk around with a face like a slapped ass, and I can be scowling at people that are grunting and turning my nose up at whatever I think is gross or I don't agree with, which is gross energy, I know, but 9 times out of 10, like when you catch me in the gym and I'm chatting away with like somebody that I know in there, or just like getting real into my workout, that is 100% who I am. And it was just realising that these people, this connection, Louise, Vary, fucking just all these new people that have come into my life over these past 6 months, they have literally triggered a part of me that is who I am, that I know that it's been there all of my life, but that I've just been suppressing for so long. It's a part of me that's just not felt safe enough to be expressed in my life, in my friendships, in my connections, sometimes in my family. And I'm only just stepping into that now. And the discomfort, a lot of you will probably be able to resonate with this, because I think a lot of us also, we label the discomfort that I'm feeling, which we all will be feeling, because we're all very much stuck in a tug of war between, a new self and an old self, or evolution, or staying stagnant, or something like that. Yeah, I think, people will be able to resonate with this, because it is just the discomfort we can label as something that is damned, something that's not good. We don't want to give energy to it. We need to keep it repressed. We need to keep it suppressed. We need to keep it buried within, because we don't like discomfort. But actually the discomfort is the feeling of being yourself in a world where you've just been made and programmed so deeply to not have permission to do that, to not feel safe enough to do that, because of how it's viewed. And it's like posting on social media, making content videos, making a fucking podcast, talking from your soul, like just literally putting yourself out there, that's really, really scary, and that's really uncomfortable. And that is like, it is just, I still don't feel that comfortable with doing it, but it is the feeling of discomfort which is pushing me to continue to do it as much as possible. It's the understanding that if I'm here saying people aren't going to want to see this, people are going to think this is cringe, I can't believe I've just done that video, that's so gross, people are going to be turning their noses up at that, they probably will. And for me personally, they will be, and that will impact my life in a certain way, because that is the way that I am thinking it and viewing it myself. And that's actually got nothing to do with anybody else. It's all to do with me. Like, I need to make sure that whatever is uncomfortable for me is uncomfortable for me because of me, not because of what other people think, because other people only think what I think they do. Does that make sense? Like, one of my favourite sayings is, I'm not what I think I am. I'm not what you think I am. I am what I think you think I am. And that's so deep, because that is just so true. Like, you are literally what you think other people think you are. Other people can think whatever the fuck they want. You will never know. You will never know that unless they openly communicate it to you. And even then you can't be 100% sure, because they could be saying anything. You will just never know. All you will ever know, and all you ever need to know, is what you're telling yourself inside your head. How the voice inside your head is talking to you and what it's saying, the words that it's using. That's all you ever need to know, and all you ever need to be focused on. And that's like the place that I put myself in before I do put myself out there, before I do share a video or a reel or a podcast where, you know, I may be talking about something a bit taboo or doing something that maybe classed as a bit cringe. If I'm thinking that's cringe, then it's going to be, and everybody else is going to think it's cringe as well, because that's what I'm thinking. But that's like the discomfort that I've got to take hold of and transmute into some sort of power, into some sort of passion, into some sort of confidence. And that's what you need to do as well if you're also thinking, or if you're scared of putting yourself out there, is transmuting it into confidence. Because realising that the only impact of any negative thought is from yourself. It's not from anybody else, unless somebody has straight up told you face to face, what you're doing is gross, what you're doing is cringe, what you're doing is this. And then even then you can be like, oh, well, I'm sorry that I am triggering such an uncomfortable part of you, which is obviously feeling uncomfortable with what you're seeing me do, because that's all it is. Again, you know, like, nobody's perception of you or idea of you, thoughts of you or whatever, has any impact on anyone other than themselves. And it's exactly the same for you. If you're thinking negatively about somebody else, then it's probably because they're triggering something in you which is being repressed or neglected and needs your attention. Something that you don't like about yourself. Like, fuck me dead, I could say so much stuff about things that I don't like about people, and then taking a step back and being like, I do that. I think I said it in one of my other podcasts. It's like, you know, if somebody, it's even in relationships, like if somebody comes with an avoidant energy, and you're like, oh, gross, I don't like that. I don't like the avoidance. Like, that is disgusting. That's an ick for me. But you're sitting there avoiding doing all this paperwork that you've been putting off for months. You're avoiding paying this bill that you've been sitting on for months. You're avoiding going to the gym that you've been telling yourself that you're going to do for months, years. You're avoiding eating healthier. You know, it's not, whatever triggers us and how we feel about something is because it comes from a place in us which is also not fulfilled and not happy about what we are doing and how we are showing up in our lives in another aspect. Doesn't always have to be in the same aspect in a relationship or whatever. It can be anything with avoidance, with love bombing. You know, you may not ever love bomb in a relationship, but do you love bomb new people when you meet them? Like, do you meet someone and you're like, oh my God, you are so gorgeous. Oh my God, I love your coat. I love your shoes. Tell me everything about your job. Tell me, because I'm sorry, ease up. That's a bit much. Like, that's love bombing. Like you may not love bomb somebody in a relationship, but you could love bomb someone into being friends with you, and you're showing up as someone that you're fucking not, because and again, that just says a lot about you. Like, why are you coming into this connection with all of these compliments? Like, that just screams insecurity, or screams that you want some sort of validation back or something. Like, some people might be sat there like, no, I'm just genuinely kind, like I genuinely like giving compliments. Sure, how do you like receiving them? Normally the people that like giving compliments are the ones that are like, when someone says you look amazing, you're like, oh no I don't, but thanks. Like, that's insulting, that's rude for a start. Like, how do you receive them? If you like giving something so much and you want to give, it's probably because you don't like receiving something so much. You know, we all act out of our places of fear and dislike and like adjustment, you know, all the things that we feel like we need to adjust and change. We all act from that and project it all over us, because the 9 times out of 10, we're not making the adjustments in our lives in those aspects. So we're projecting how we feel about our own fucking inability to evolve and change and let go of the parts of ourselves that just don't serve us anymore. And like, where I was going with that is, you know, in these new connections and whatever that I've made, where I have just been made to feel so safe to be myself and not feel so judged, or not feel so like some sort of like resistant or deflecting energy. You know, when you can be yourself even with like a friend that you've known for years and years, and they can be a little bit deflective for that energy at some point. You know, you might just, I don't know, I'm trying to think of an example, but like, you've known someone for years and all of a sudden you just act like real silly or something in front of them, and they're like, fucking hell, what's that with you, what's got into you today? And that's not very nice, is it? That's not providing a very nice safe space for me to be a bit silly. Sorry that's making you uncomfortable, but that's actually your shit. You know, whereas somebody else, maybe someone that you've just met, or maybe again someone that you've known for a few years that you're starting to realise is actually aligned with you, you can be a bit silly and they'll be like, whoa, look at you, like fucking, and join in, you know? Like, it's just realising, how is your energy handled? Like, how does your body feel in your connections, in your situations? How does it actually feel? What is it telling you? Do you feel safe to truly be yourself? The person that you are when no one's watching, the person that you are when you feel the most calm and quiet and connected and grounded and stable. Like, how often are you actually able to be like that, when not just when you're on your own? Because that's like isolating, you know. If you only feel like you can be like that on your own, you will just eventually start isolating yourself. But how often do you feel like you can genuinely be yourself in your friendships, in your family, in your connections? How often, for real, like really, really, truly, without feeling judged or without expressing it and then questioning yourself afterwards? Because that's so rare. But stepping more into those places and standing on your business and standing on your truth unapologetically, without allowing somebody's own internal projection or response or reaction or whatever to you being yourself impact you, is exactly how you gain back your power and you gain back your magic and your control and your confidence in those situations, where you can show up as yourself, be silly, be whatever, have it deflected, have it resisted, and for you to still continue to stand in that fire anyway, because you are in such a place of understanding and knowing that this other person's perception of you has got fucking nothing on you, and it means nothing to do with you either. And all it's doing is holding you back. And I put a reel up on my Instagram about it. It's like, these people have got really comfortable with an old version of you, and they don't have the capacity to relearn a new version of you. They're really, really stuck on the old version of you. And the reason why they can't relearn or evolve with you or get to know the new version is because they're unable to evolve themselves. They're also stuck in a place between their new self and their old self, but their old self, you know, the voice of that or the energy of that is just a little bit stronger. They're too scared to step into the fire. They're too scared to step into the unknown, to find out exactly where that path takes them. So all they can do is project that fear over you and deflect and resist and, be worried, be worried for it, put a barrier up against it. And that's not, you don't want to surround yourself with that. Or if you're going to choose to do that, at least choose to be able to still stand in your power when that is happening around you. Because as I said before, it is only your perception, your thoughts, how you are personally and mentally and emotionally responding to the situation that is going to make any difference to your life. Not that person's reaction, not that person's response, not however they're showing up. It's you. What's going on in your head, the voice that you're telling yourself, the stories that you're telling yourself, that's the most important. So just always got to make sure that it's in alignment with you and in balance with you and for your greater good, not for the other person. It's like another thing of just stepping so fully out of this people-pleasing phase. Like so many of us are stepping out of the people-pleasing phase. It's fantastic. But yeah, it's just, there's just so much stuff to like get to grips with yourself, like your emotions, your feelings. And I even notice in the way that even since I started this podcast, because I genuinely feel like I was a different person in episode 1 to who I am now, episode 6. And I've gone through a couple of different lifetimes in these episodes, like there was Mr. Ringwood that consumed my life for so long, and he still crosses my mind even now. I still like kind of hope that I bump into him one day, and these little obsessions for me never really go away. They still linger, but they just become a whole lot easier for me to handle. It's like death. It's literally like grieving someone. Like, my brother, he died, as we know, and I still think about it every day. It still hurts me every single day, but it's just a lot easier to carry. It's literally the same with anything. Your emotions just become comfortable. Like they literally become a part of you. And then we do like to say, I guess that's where like victim mentality can jump in, but we do like to allow ourselves to be driven by our past experiences, which is, a blessing and a curse, really a good thing and a bad thing. Because if you're allowing your past experiences to drive you for good reasons, fair play. But if you're allowing them to drive you into victim mentality, fucking no good. Get out of that. That's no good. That's one thing that I'll never do. I can literally sit here and tell you about all the shit that's happened and maybe seem a bit victimized from it. Like there's a part of me which I guess feels a little bit victimized, but it's my own fucking fault anyway. But I will never want, like, I will never want to be victimized by other people. I never want anybody to see me as a victim. I want people to see me as a fucking warrior, as somebody who has been through so much shit, and I'm here today, sitting here the way that I am, feeling the way that I am, as if I've never gone through a negative experience in all of my life. That's a gift. That's some sort of gift to have for sure. Like to not allow, because there's a lot of people out there that have been through a lot of negative experiences. Oh God, I remember this girl, who this is worrying as well. This is another reason why sometimes I'm like, do I want to study counselling? Because I sometimes feel like the majority of people that go to counselling classes like that, they actually all need therapy. That they're going there for their own self-development rather than to learn how to help others. They're really desperately trying to help themselves, which is fine because, learning counselling is really beneficial for that and can do that for you. I'm not knocking on anybody for doing that at all, but sometimes it's just like, oh, fucking hell, I feel like I'm in a self-help class rather than like a class where I'm learning to help others, or just get a better understanding of what the fuck's going on in life. But anyway, there was this girl, we're not friends anymore, and I'm glad because her energy, we were just so not aligned. But she had studied counselling as well. I think she had done her level 3. But she used to just post, she was so stuck in victim mentality. She had come from a long 10-year relationship with a man which was emotionally abusive, and she had got, it might have been physically abusive as well, so I'm not taking anything away from her experience, absolutely devastating. But she had then left him, she was married, she left him and fulfilled her lifelong desire and dream of being a lesbian. I say like lifelong desire and dream. She, makes videos very often about how she's always been a lesbian. Fair play. Standing in your truth, dating the people that you're meant to be dating, amazing. But the way that she would constantly post up about her relationship with this man, like constantly, not to spread awareness, not to spread awareness at all. It was to receive sympathy, like every single time. And, to the point where I think she messaged me one day and she was like, oh, I've messaged ChatGPT this morning with all of like the notes and stuff that I used to write when I was with this guy, and I've asked ChatGPT to confirm whether or not it was actually emotional abuse. And she wrote a list of all the things that he had done, and you don't even need to have studied counselling. You probably only need to have been alive on this earth maybe 3 to 4 days to understand that the list of stuff that she had written is 1000% emotional abuse. Like, why were you put it just, like, again, I don't take anybody's experiences away from them, right? But I feel like your experience, for me, loses its level of impact when you are just continuously seeking validation for it to be shit. It's like you had to get ChatGPT to confirm that you've been emotionally abused. Do you not know that yourself anyway? Like, you just know that yourself. You don't need it to be validated. But it's like you continuously need to be told that what's happened to you is shit because that makes you feel better. Okay, yes, because I think she even said it to me. She was like, does this sound like abuse? Yes, now what? Yes, it does. Now what are you going to do? What are you going to do with that? Oh, I just wanted to make sure it was abuse. Okay, now what? It is. So what are you going to do about it? Do you get what I'm saying? Do you know where I'm going with this? Like, what difference does it make what me or ChatGPT or anybody on your Instagram says if you're not doing anything about it? Because if in a week's time you're just going to post something else or share something else, what have you done in that meantime? Are you actually going through any kind of practice or exercise of healing yourself from this? Or do you just continuously need to be told that it was really bad and I'm so sorry you went through that? And because that changes nothing. Somebody else's perception of your experience changes nothing about your experience. Like, nothing. Deal with it yourself. Tell yourself how bad it was. Make yourself feel better for how bad it was. Like, surely that validation is the most important. It's like, hey, you've spent 10 years obviously having your worth completely stripped from you, but you're now in a relationship for over a year with a woman who, the poor thing, has to sit by you every day while you continuously post up about your ex-husband. Like, how is that impacting her? Because how she must feel about being with you every day for an entire year and you're still so completely broken about this. Like, as I said, we're not friends anymore because I did like call her out sort of on what she was doing. I was just like, I'm just interested to know what you actually get from speaking to ChatGPT, or what you're going to do with this confirmation now, this validation that you've got that you were emotionally abused, like what you're going to do with it, because it's been like over 2 years that you've actually not been with this person. So, what now? And she didn't like it. And that's because a lot of people that don't know me very well don't like get a bit confronted when I can come back with questions like that, or like when you can come at me with stuff which we both know is pretty heavy, but you're coming to me so I can confirm how heavy it is. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to give you sympathy just because you need it. I'm going to tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear, but what you need to hear. And that's normally why I lose friends or why I lose out on people. It's like another friend that I made at the beginning of this year that 100% love bombed me. Friend, a girl, and I met her in my counselling class. We got on really well, but then there was one day where I called her out on some things, or just said how I felt about a couple of things in our friendship. And I've been able to do this in other connections, and this is where you've got to realise that it's actually not you and it is your environment, right? Like, it really is about how your energy is met and handled and responded to. Like, I've been able to go to people in the past or in the very recent past and explain maybe a way that they've made me feel, or a trigger that I've had, or a feeling that I've had that's made me feel upset or uncomfortable. And the way that that's been responded to or held has told me everything I need to know about that connection. Like with this girl, when I went to her and I told her how I needed to feel, the way that that was responded to 100% told me everything that I need to know. And it was like, this person's not for me anymore. We thought that we were. There's kind of both a bit of love bombing on both of our sides here. Not really so much from me, because I think that's a bit ick, but 100% we're not aligned. And now we don't even talk. But there was no like long message sent to explain why I was gonna remove her from my social media and stuff like that, or anything. That I just stepped away, and it feels good. It's liberating to actually understand that, or to finally come into a place of realizing that your worth is so worthy. Like, you are so worthy of the desires that you have for connections, friendships, anything, work, life. Those desires that you think are so profound and so outrageous and unbelievable or unattainable. No, they're not. Like, they're really, really not. It's just that you're staying stuck in too many situations and environments where they won't be able to manifest because it's too out of alignment. Like, you really can align with the energies, the connections, the job, the life that you want. You just got to be strong enough to cut out the bullshit. And it is hard, and you may feel like you're a bit of a cunt for it, but you're not. That's the ultimate form of self-love. Like, really, really giving that to yourself and honouring that for yourself. The boundaries, man. Like, it's just so important to get clear about and maintain. And so I really think that we can all just, really start to build a better life, a better environments around us, or curate those around us when we get clearer on exactly what is important to us, what makes our bodies feel good, our hearts, our minds, and everything. And to really honour that with integrity and confidence, Oh God, I feel like I've been a bit on one for this episode, but as I said, I am due on my period today. Like, literally, what are we? It's 3:00 in the afternoon now, so it's probably not coming today. But yeah, I feel like I've been a bit on one, like going in on all the stuff. But I actually think that I was saying to Louise as well the other day. We always slam the luteal phase for being the worst because we're highly strung, we're extremely emotional, we fucking hate everyone, and stuff like that. But actually, I feel like it gives you the most confidence because it's like we're coming from that place of anger and rage and whatnot. Like, it's real deep within us all the time, but it comes out tenfold during your luteal phase. But this is when I just genuinely give zero fucks during this time. So, apologies if it's been a little bit heavy. Has it? Not really. But I'll keep you all updated with what's going on. I hope some of you have been able to take something from this episode. It's probably been more me talking at you than like offering any kind of stuff to go away and think about. But genuinely do go and think about how much time you're giving away to your phone and ChatGPT and stuff like that. Find your creativity again. Go and get your creativity back. Maintain your energy and don't give that away because you don't want to be a lazy fucking cunt. Think about how your body feels in certain environments. Like, and also, if your body doesn't feel good, or if you don't feel good in an environment or with a group of people, don't sit there and pretend like you do. Stop doing that. Make yourself clear. People will say, oh, resting bitch face. Fine. If you've got a resting bitch face because you genuinely are unhappy with where you are, good, sit there like that and just be like, yeah, I look like this because I fucking hate it here. I'm not enjoying myself. I would rather be at home. And do you know what? On that note, I'm going to leave. See you later. Own it. Just start owning your feelings. Even if you've been looking forward to a night out for so long and you've gone out and you've realised, I hate it here. Don't stay out because you feel like you have to because it's been so long and you should be having a good time. No. If your body is not having a good time, just be like, do you know what? I've been looking forward to this and I really wanted to like have a good time, but I'm just not. I would rather be at home. Go and do that. Go and be at home. Put your body horizontal. Put a fucking blanket on you. Light a spliff. Pour a glass of wine. Whatever you do to chill out, and do that instead. Start honouring yourself more, please. just see how much your life changes when you do, and how much you will slowly but surely get your confidence back and your integrity and your fucking autonomy that we are just giving away so willingly on a daily basis. Just honour yourself from the depths. It is so beneficial. It really is. So that's the one thing that you can all take away from today, for sure. But what I'm going to do now, as I say, it's 3 o'clock-ish. I'm actually waiting for my guy to come pick me up because we're going for a little drive. I'm going to then come home. I've got a client, and then I'll be sitting here getting this all edited, ready to be posted. But come and join me again. I won't say when because I don't know when, but I'll keep you all updated on my Instagram at the Ell'Chemist. Give me a follow. Thank you again, everyone that has been tuning in, listening to every episode and just supporting me to this point. I'm so grateful. I really am. And this time next year, I feel like I'll just be in such a completely different position. Hopefully this podcast blows up, my business blows up. That is the goal, that is the aim, that is what I'm moving towards with as much fucking drive as I possibly can. So definitely going to make that happen. But yeah, all the love, guys. Take it easy and I'll catch you soon.